Kevin Durant and the Suns look uninspired, as it has been seen multiple times through social media. Kevin Durant and his coach Budenholzer, have clearly not been able to get on the same page. There have been multiple viral moments of Kevin Durant clearly really dissatisfied with his coaching staff, dissatisfied with his team. And going into this NBA season, I think there are obvious question marks about the chemistry of Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. Three bona fide scorers who are, might I add, great players. This is just a fit that doesn't work. It's a lot like when Russell Westbrook, AD, and LeBron James tried to mesh together, and it just wasn't a fit with the playing styles. But when I look at this, I almost feel bad for Kevin Durant from the standpoint of he's been at this for almost 2 decades. And to be at this point in his career where he's playing with 2 all-star level caliber players and they're not going to make the playoffs. If you would have told me to start the year, would this Suns team be this bad? I'd look at you and laugh. Despite the issues between the fit, there was so much talent at the top that I wouldn't imagine them being 11th seed when you're at this stage in the NBA season. It's clear that Kevin Durant will probably be on the move next season. Will find a new home. But the uninspired basketball by the Phoenix Suns, it's hard to watch. It looks like they're just trying to go through the motions of the season. It's clear to me that they are packing it in. Their game against the Los Angeles Lakers the other night, it was almost embarrassing to watch the other side. It just looked like big brother whooping on little brother. You could see Luka Doncic having a time, Austin Reeves having a time. And unfortunately for the Suns, when you look at the front office, there are some question marks about who is making the decisions around this roster. You have Bradley Beal, who's getting a lot of unforced disrespect just to him as a player, when most of it has to do with the fit. I mean, you were never going to get a Bradley Beal to waive his no trade clause to go to a losing caliber team. He clearly thought Phoenix would be the best situation for him in order to win basketball games. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. And it seems like this thing will get blown up heading into next season. But Noel, what do you think of the Phoenix Suns in this situation?
Jarob, it's really sad to see. When you really, really think about it, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker on a team like the Phoenix Suns that, I mean, just a couple of years ago, were in the NBA Finals, looking like they were going to be a premier team out west. And now, I mean, not even making the play-in tournament, not even making the playoffs. It's heartbreaking to see. Kevin Durant is right there with Steph and LeBron in terms of superstars that are playing way above what other players usually perform at when they get to their age. So seeing him in a situation like this, it's why I so badly wanted him to get traded to a team like the Warriors or a team like Miami. And, you know, looking back when he first signed with the Warriors, I was right at the front line yelling, like, what are you doing? You're in the NBA. But I wanted him to go to a better situation. I wanted Devin Booker to get better pieces around him to showcase the type of talent that he is, because when he has the right piece around him, when he has big men that could set picks, when he has guys like Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges that can play defense and spot up, he's shown that he can lead a team and he could be an MVP talk. So it's really sad to see. I don't think it's Coach Bud's fault. I just think that the way this team has meshed together, the fact that you have 3 guys on near max deals and you have veteran minimums all around, I mean, it's just not going to work. At the end of the day, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal, they just take turns going ISO ball, and that only works with very, very limited situations. Even look at the Lakers, what they're doing right now. Luka is allowing LeBron James to settle more into a spot-up shooting, into a cutting to the basketball. It's not just here, you go. You know, that's what I see.
Yeah, I definitely feel like with this team, somebody was going to have to sacrifice, and it does feel like those sacrifices just weren't made, because you're going to have to ask Bradley Beal or Devin Booker to be a point guard, not be a bona fide 2 guards that they are. And look, the Suns tried. You know, I mean, they went and got Tyus Jones. You went and got Nick Richards. But at the end of the day, the mesh is just not there. They're horrible defensively. One of the worst defensive teams in basketball. And despite you would feel like this is a team that, yeah, they might not be great defensively, but if they score 125, they'll beat you because they'll outscore you. They're not even able to outscore teams. And that's what is like so concerning when you watch all of this is, if I told you Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker on the same team, I would assume they'd be the highest scoring team in the NBA, and it wouldn't be close. Yeah. But when you see them on the hardwood, I mean, Noel, it's embarrassing. You know, it's so uninspired. And If you would have told me at the start of the year where I have them placed, I would be like they're a 6-7 seed in the Western Conference. So to see them out the play-in, I mean, I'll be honest. If I'm the front office, I mean, I don't know if I'm firing Coach Bud, but it would be a conversation because he's lost the team. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, we've never seen Kevin Durant this animated on a bench, or at least it's shown for us to see. You know, he's probably been frustrated with his coach before. Yeah. I'm not saying that. But the fact that it is being highlighted multiple times, his frustrations with this organization, I feel like Coach Bud has lost that locker room. And if you're going to get him back or be able to gain control of this team, you're going to have to move Kevin Durant. Get him out of there because, you know, I'll tell you firsthand from experience, like from my experience playing football, if the quarterback or the best player on the team is not rocking with the head coach or is treating the coach a certain way, everybody else is following suit. Because if you don't have the respect at the top, then everybody else is like, well, if he's treating you like this, then clearly, you know, you haven't galvanized this team enough. And I think he's lost control of the locker room. I think getting Bradley Beal out of there at the end of the year is going to be good for them as well. I think it'll be good for Bradley too. I think he's done a great job of compartmentalizing everything that's going on in Phoenix. However, I mean, nobody wants to be where they're not wanted. And the fan base is ready for him to go. I think the front office realizes we made a mistake. And again, this is not Bradley Beal's fault. He went where he thought was best. Yeah. But Noel, I mean, the truth is that the new CBA, the way the money shakes out in the NBA, you really cannot have players that are that expensive. It just doesn't work. You won't have a roster. And so for Bradley Beal, I mean, I think a Miami would be a great fit. I think a Milwaukee could be a great fit. I mean, honestly, maybe even with the Clippers, put him in a backcourt with James Harden. Yes. Regardless of Norman Powell having a career year, I think Bradley Beal's still the better player, especially if he would put on that Clippers team. So I do think there's silver lining because I think a lot of people look at Bradley Beal's contract and give him a lot of heat for it, but you can't be mad at him for what his agent negotiated for him. And I'm signing the deal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm signing it. You signing it? Yeah. I'm not thinking twice about it. So ultimately, this Suns team is a debacle, and it's time to hit reset. There have been some rumors that maybe they're willing to trade Devin Booker. I can't see that happening. But do you think the Suns as a whole can hit a full-blown panic button, reset the whole organization?
I mean, I don't think any franchise is ever opposed to that, especially when you see how the last couple of seasons have played out ever since you made that big trade for Kevin Durant. But that's ultimately why I go back to it not being Coach Bud's fault. But at the end of the day, in professional sports, most of the time the coaches are made out to be the scapegoats. But I think KD was smart for kind of pushing hold on the trade button because, like he said, he didn't want a Warrior team or a Heat team to just trade the cavalry for him. And he goes there, and it's the same situation. He's going to be playing with other stars, but have no role players, have no team built around him. So he's smart for waiting out. He knows what he's doing. Hopefully he continues to stay healthy at his age. But yeah, I don't think any team is opposed to going full-blown rebuild. And I just think it'd be crazy if we saw D-Book in another jersey.
Insane.